Alright, so today we're going to be making some pollo con rajas y queso. So let me start off by showing you guys my chicken. This is 2 chicken breasts that I pounded out to make them a little bit thinner. And for seasonings, all I added was some salt, some pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of cumin, and some thyme. So I'm going to set this to the side. Then you're going to need some cheese that's good for melting. I have mozzarella. I usually like to use the Oaxaca cheese, but when I went to the grocery store a few days ago, they didn't have any, so mozzarella works just as well. You're going to need some poblano peppers. I'm going to be using about 4 today, and we're going to be roasting these. You're going to need some crema. I normally use heavy whipping cream, but I happen to have some of this in my pantry, and this works just as well. This is media crema table cream, and I think 1 can is enough. You're going to need some garlic. Again, you can use fresh. I'm just going to use what I have. And here I have half an onion chopped. You can chop it up as small as you want, as big as you want, but this is going to be going in with our cheese and our crema and everything mixed together. So now let's get started with our chicken. Okay, so to my pan, I'm going to be adding some oil. And then we're going to be adding our chicken. Okay, so I put it on medium heat. We're gonna let that cook for maybe about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna take a look on it. I'm gonna be taking off and on the lid. I just don't want my oil to spill out. So while our chicken is cooking, we're going to roast our poblano peppers. Okay, so here I'm going to let my poblano roast. And what I want is I want the skin to turn black. Once it's black on this side, I'm going to flip it over and continue to do that. Once I have my whole pepper roasted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick all 4 of them inside a plastic bag and let them sweat. So I'll show you guys once we're ready. Okay, so while our chicken is cooking and my poblanos are done, I placed them in a bag to sweat, and this is what you want, a nice char. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to peel them. It does not have to be perfect, because we're still going to cook these for a little bit. We're going to saute them with the onions. But definitely get as much off as you can. Okay. Place this on my plate and do the rest. So I'll come back once I'm done. Alright, so now that my peppers are peeled, I'm going to just pull this out carefully and remove all the seeds. If your pepper is still hot, be careful. And then just pull the rest of these out. That's it. One more. Just like that. And pull out the seeds. You can rip it. It's going to be so soft that you can just tear it. And then I'm just going to push these together. And I have a garbage bag here in my sink that I'm tossing these into. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just finish these up. And there we go. So if you rip these, it doesn't matter if you pull them apart because we're gonna give these a rough chop. So I'm gonna de-seed the rest of them. And I just flipped my chicken. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. So there's my chicken. I just flipped it. So I'm gonna let it cook on this side for a couple more minutes and then do the other two pieces. Okay, so here is my chicken, my first two pieces. Just put them in a little baking dish with aluminum. And just to keep them warm. And I'm gonna put these on the side. Give everything a quick wipe. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my peppers a rough chop. And remember guys, keep your, whatever you use your meats for, whatever you use your veggies for, keep them separate so you don't cross-contaminate. I have two of these gray ones. I have a whole bunch of these. But you know which one's which when you cook every day. And for the most part, I cook every day. So I'm just, as you saw, peeling them apart with my hands, cutting the long way, grabbing it, turning it. So that size. Could do even smaller. Whatever you prefer. So we're going to push that to the side, grab our next piece, cut the long way, turn it, and just chop it. Same thing. The peppers are pretty much already so tender that you can just probably chop these with your hands. So these pieces, they're a little bit harder compared to the other ones because this is right where the stem was and you can't really roast that so easily. But again, don't worry about it because we're going to cook these again and they'll get nice and soft. So I'm just going to finish off with the rest of my peppers and keep an eye on my chicken and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so let's take a look at my chicken because it's time to flip. Okay. pretty golden color. Let's grab this one. Doesn't want to flip. Okay. So let that cook on that side again. Keep it covered. And I have it at a medium heat. So just leave it there for a couple more minutes. All right. Okay, so I just took out my chicken, and as you can see, there's still some oil left and some bits. What I'm gonna do is add in my chopped onions. Mix. We're just gonna let those saute in there for about a minute. So while that finishes, we're going to add in some garlic. Give that a mix. I'm working at a medium heat still. If you're working on high, just make sure you're watching your onions, because you don't want the garlic that we just added to burn. So I'm going to keep stirring this and let this cook for about 2 more minutes. I'll come back and show you when we're going to add the peppers. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes, and now we're going to add our peppers. Okay, again, let that cook for about another minute or so. And the next step is going to be to add our crema. Okay. Now we're going to add in our lata de crema. And I'm just going to help it out. Mix this around. Okay. And I'm going to let this simmer for a couple of minutes. If you use this same crema and you feel that this is too thick, you can go ahead and add whole milk if you don't have heavy cream, Or if you like the taste of this crema, but you want it a little bit thinner, go ahead and add some half and half or some heavy cream. That'll help balance it out. You can even add in some sour cream, but just remember that sour cream does have that aftertaste. Sky's the limit, go crazy. The point is you just want some type of cream base, some type of dairy product in this. So again, I'm still working at a medium heat, and I'm going to cover this and let it simmer. So now that our crema and peppers have been simmering, we are going to add in our cheese. For this, make sure you're working at a low heat so your cheese doesn't burn. And here you can see how the crema just kind of thins out and spreads out and kind of looks like it's even more crema, but it's so good. We're almost done. So like I said, now we're going to add our cheese. It does not have to be shredded. It can be in pieces, but make sure that you chop it up in little pieces. That way the heat distributes it evenly when it's melting. So I used about half the bag. I still have this much. Half the bag. And I did get the low moisture. And I'm going to add in a little bit of salt. Actually. I didn't want the whole can of salt in your guys' way. Okay. For salt, I use about half a teaspoon. And we're going to give this a mix and fold over. Can you see the cheese? The ooey gooey. That's what we're looking for. I don't know if I said this already, but if you don't want to add salt, you can go ahead and add chicken bouillon. That works too. And we're just going to keep this on low heat for another minute. Alright you guys, and here is the finished product. It's still steaming. You can serve this with rice, with bread. I'm probably going to make a little bit of Mexican rice right now. So simple yet so delicious. Again, pollo con rajas y queso. So I hope you guys enjoy.